Back, ladies and gentlemen, to round number 3 of the APPF1 Tier 1 Championship, brought to you of course by High Dive Apparel. It's tied at the top between MX and Rick, with Speed chasing them down. It's going to be a monumental battle between the two, but do not count anyone out this early on. It's time then for my absolute favourite circuit, Silverstone. It's fast, flowing and an absolute beast at creating iconic moments and overtakes. With a lot of British drivers on the grid, who is going to be the one to take home glory? Short qualifying and a 50% race in store for us all. Buckle up and enjoy the ride. And typical British weather as we come to the British Grand Prix. Extreme wet tyres for at least the first part of qualifying. Whether it's going to tidy itself up a little bit later on is another story. But yeah, as I say, a lot of British drivers. We've got the typical British weather, that rain coming in. As you always expect. That's what the British drivers are good at, though. We always are acclaimed, as well as I think the Japanese as well, pretty damn good in the wet, because we're used to having those bad conditions, these poor conditions, you know, all the way back into their karting days. For some Formula 1 drivers, you know, Lewis Hamilton in some cases literally went to his dad, I want to go out on slicks in this wet, just to learn the car, get used to it. Of course, these Formula 1 cars have got the grooved wet compound tyres made by Pirelli. They can displace the water. That's what the treads are for, similar to how your road car works, because you don't want slick tyres on the road if it starts to rain, especially in the UK with the standard of driving we often get over here. But yeah, the slick tyres, there's not a lot of actual you know, rubber surface area touching the thing, because it's just sat on top of the water, so you don't have as much grip. So of course Lewis used that in order to learn car control, and then when he went onto the wet was even quicker, because he had that fundamental, that foundation built already from the slicks. And that's pretty much why the British are very good at what they do in the wet. However, whether that will translate into the sim world and into APPF1 is another story. We'll have to see who's going to be quickest. And of course, as I say, tied at the top, 38 points apiece for Rick and MX. Is MX on? Let me have a look. Yeah, he is. P10 at the moment, because no one set a lap. I'm sure he's going to be wanting to be a lot higher up than this. This is tier in the Williams. Of course, Williams being very historically a British team. Through the Vale chicane then, and heading towards Club to start the lap. Got to get on the power early, got to maximise it. Bit of a squirm, but manages to keep the car on a straight line. Not going to give it, of course, the best exit into Abbey. Just got to absolutely chuck the car in and hope it grips through Farm and into Village. Slippy Jimmy leaving the pit lane. That was very close between the two of them. But yeah, that's the problem with the Silverstone pit lane. It comes out and you're going relatively slowly onto a very fast bit of the circuit. Silverstone has got a very slow pit lane, 37 kilometers an hour, and you're spat out with not a lot of chance to get up to speed, and you're spat out pretty much straight away. So yeah, you've got to be careful through turns 1 and 2 if there's someone leaving the pit lane, and just make sure to give them ample space on the right hand side. Here's Rick, the third place man of last season, doing very well in the sprints as well. Starting the lap through Club. Can he get it off to a better start than Tier did in the Ferrari? He's going to want to qualify well. He's going to want to get himself into a very good position. A lot of understeer through Abbey, you can see there. And then into Farm, just having to hook the curb, bringing it into Village. Under brakes. Brake as much as you can in a straight line. That's going to help you in the wet. Use the brakes to turn as well. Bit of a snap as he goes in towards the loop. Second gear. It's all about being tidy and smooth. Just be in control of the car, and it's going to be a quick lap. When you're wrestling the car through the corner, slamming the brakes on, slamming the throttle on, and just sideways, it's not quick, but it still goes relatively well. Definitely a lot of time in the tank for him. Third gear as he goes through Brooklands into Luffield. Definitely going to take a nice V-shaped line through to get that drive down the old pit straight in towards Copse. Miss the second apex though. If you're going to do it like that, you've got to make sure you hit it. Through Woodcut, again using not as much of the track as he probably could. It is Copse. Dutch people definitely have a lot of, well, probably PTSD from the 2021 Silverstone Grand Prix. So Rick's going to be very careful, give a lot of room through there, and in towards the famous Maggots and Beckett's in the wet. Still blisteringly quick. 120 miles an hour is the slowest he's going through there. Maybe 105, but still incredibly quick. Much faster than you get on any road. And he's doing that in torrential rain conditions, by the way, as he heads up the Wellington Straight. RIP sets the fast lap, 43.0. I'm sure Rick's going to absolutely smash that one out of the water as he goes through Stowe. Use the track on the exit in towards the Vale chicane. Brake at the start of the curb just before, again, brake early and carry that speed through. Carry that momentum through the corner. Get on the power as early as you can through club. Straight line the exit. Short run to the line and across the line. So 1:39. 7:53 for the Flying Dutchman. He's the only person to put in a competitive lap time at the moment, though. What can Koru do? A speed alcoholic. 7/10 quicker already. He certainly is a speed alcoholic in the McLaren home team as well. And he's 7/10 quickest so far. Here's Koru through Copse at the moment in towards Maggots and Beckett. He's in the Aston Martin. Again, another British team, a British driver, British team at the British Grand Prix. That's a lot of Bs, but he's certainly going to be trying to do his best. He's very quick in qualifying trim. It's just carrying that momentum forward, carrying that speed into the race where he may struggle a little bit. One wing, yeah, rooting for your boy MX, Epic Aspects, thank you very much. And we've got Squiddy, Zach, you're right mate, yeah, definitely. My G. Yeah, sure. Oh, massive tank slapper as Corey goes over the line, goes fastest by just over a tenth of a second, a 38.967 for Koru, as he very easily could have put that in the wall there. Very easily could have put that in the wall and just buried it. I mean, he did put it in the wall, but I mean bury it into the wall and just lose his tyre. Go and give Barry Arrow a lovely bear hug. When I use the phrase hug it like your favourite grandma, like this Apex, Vardy doing a great example of that through Cops. I don't mean the barrier. You do not want to be anywhere near the barrier. As MX goes P4, goes into third as well. Quite a big range as Rick goes second, 39.0, matches speed just off Koru, less than a tenth of a second. What can Vardy do to the middle sector? He's one of the most adaptable drivers on the grid, knows what he's doing, knows how to do it as well. Has boasted tier 1 success and success in the sprint, just not a championship yet. Eat My Dust into P6, MX 5th, with Rick second. Yeah, that's where the championship protagonists so far stack up. Through Vale, bit of a lock up, losing that momentum. It's very stop and start as soon as you lock up. You just want to be lifting off the brakes, utilising that trail braking. Merck and Vardy put that Red Bull so far. It's P7, a 40.781 for him. Aces versus Kings heading down the Wellington straight towards Stowe Corner. I don't think this is a particularly competitive lap time, is it? I don't know. It might be actually. He's got 10 seconds to get to the line. Nah, I don't think so. I mean, it might be. We've got a Red Bull spin. I think that might be Ted. Yeah, it's Ted facing the wrong way, and we're going to catch that, and we're going to embarrass him with it. AP goes into P6. Decent lap time from the Mercedes. Of course, the Mercedes factory. And Ted's been disqualified for driving the wrong way. We should have got that, but that is a shame. Oh well. Koru still fastest of the lot as we approach halfway through. 10 minutes left of this session. So Ted's going to be starting at the back of the grid. If Vardy puts it on pole, we've got Red Bull bread to the grid sandwich. But, yeah, what can Ghost do? Is he on another lap? He is. He's 2.5 tenths up. That is at the moment good enough to see him onto provisional pole if he can hook it up and across the line. He goes fastest, a 38.671 for the Mercedes, who tops the mid point of qualifying. Is the track improving? Is it getting worse? Are they getting more acclimatized? A lot of questions, a lot of variables. There's enough in the dry, let alone the wet. So they're going to have to be on their toes, and especially if it's a wet race. If it's a wet race, that is going to be a difficult 26 laps. I tell you that much. They've got to be on it though. Yeah, purple again. He's very wide through left field though. Ghost knows how to get it done. He definitely does. He's someone that, even though he's not quick at a circuit, will put the car at the front end of the grid. That's what Ghost does. He maximizes his worst days. He might not be quickest, but he's consistent. He's good, and he's always at the sharp end. Maximizes his opportunity. You know, the likes of Koru, very quick when he hooks a lap up. But when does he hook a lap up? For Ghost, every lap is hooked up. It might not be perfect, but it's hooked up. Whereas Koru, Sector 1, purple, Sector 2, purple, bit of a lock up, Sector 3, and pole's gone. No offence to Koru, of course, just using him as an example to sort of show Ghost on a massive pedestal, because he does deserve it. And even in the race, you know, maximising the safety cars, doing his overtakes, knowing when to do it, saving that ERS. I always go onto the onboard with the right person whenever I talk about an attribute of Ghost, because MX is someone that is getting better with his ERS, but is renowned for not saving his ERS. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, he's definitely getting better as MX, and Ghost has just been on it. You always look at him, he's leading a race by 7, 8 tenths, maybe even over a second, and you look and he's got 90%. Speaking of going fastest, this is Speed Alcoholic, a 38.597, less than a tenth quicker than Ghost, which around a long lap like Silverstone in the wet, you wouldn't expect to be that close, but they've managed it, and that was on 4-lap-old wet tyres. He's probably going long. I think he's fueled up his car. Getting into that rhythm, it's all about rhythm in the wet. You've just got to settle in and find the grip where it might not be, where you might think it's tier P5. Bloody hell. Very good lap, a 39.152. Is that attributed to the track getting better, or is tier just on one? MX for 16 years old is a great driver. He is, very much is. Speaking of young drivers, if there is anyone watching the stream who is 14 or 15, definitely get yourself on Race Room over the next couple of days. There's a time attack around Silverstone in the Formula 4, and you can enter the series, and the champion of that series gets a Formula 4 drive for next year. So yeah, if you want it, and of course you have to be British, but yeah, definitely give it a go if you've got an opportunity. You never know. I've definitely been giving it a go. I've been loving it. Formula 4 is fun to drive. Not very quick, but I'm getting there. But yeah. Definitely give it a go. Rick's on an out lap. We got Koru as well on a lap. He is on a 38.9, currently 4 tenths off pole. What can he do to the first sector as he's heading down the hangar? Wellington hangar. 4 tenths up through the first sector alone. This is a stellar lap for Koru if he can hook it together. Through Brooklands into Luffield. I don't know if you want to go for a V-line or hug it, but it seems to work. That V-line got that second apex, got that straight line exit that he needs, and then through Woodcut, is he going to maximise the track? He uses a little bit of it, not as much as he probably could do. And then into Corpse Corner, you've just got to absolutely send it, hope that there's enough grip. Dab on the brakes, just ride it through, let the car dance through. When you brake, you put more weight on the front end of the car, that's going to give it some more ballast, some more weight distribution at the front, which is then going to help those rear tyres to not exceed the load. And that's a clumsy mistake from Koru, a very clumsy mistake. Bit of a cut through Beckett's, and 6 tenths up as well. This would have been pole by a landslide if it had just not made that tiny cut, which is a shame, but he knows the pace is there, and that's what he can do for his final run, is just maximise that bit. As Paus, I think that was 4 tenths quicker on his previous best, 39.0, matches Rick, could easily get himself onto that second row. Is he going for another lap though? I don't think so. I don't think that this isn't looking, yeah, like a lap, no. MX P7 goes P7, I think 3 tenths quicker, 39.1, matches tier-ish, a little bit off him. So it is very close considering it's wet. You know, you've got third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, all within 2 tenths of a second of each other. So yeah, pretty close indeed. Oh, pretty much exactly 202, I think. 0.0202, if my maths are correct. But then again, don't trust the commentator's maths ever. Ghost on an out lap. He's going to be looking to dethrone Speed of his pole, as Speed himself is coming out looking to defend his pole position. A little bit further down the grid. Let's have a check-in. Vardy's gone down to 13th. Emo Dust down to 12th. Aces vs Kings is out there. Jack Lacko's P8. Remember, he could also be, pardon me, a threat in the championship. He's definitely a threat in the sprint. And yeah, just keep an eye on absolutely everyone. Is Rick going for a lap? It looks like he is. But we'll check in with him through Chapel. I don't think this, yeah, this isn't a lap. No, I mean, it's only 2 tenths down. He could bring it back. Final sector. We've also got the top 3 on there. Outlaps. This is Ghost who's starting it. Let's have a look at what he does through Abbey. Just look at that commitment. Just lifts off. MX into P3, 38.6, matches the top 2 pretty much. This is going to be very close. This could be a very close finish. Into Village, into the loop. Big snap of oversteer from Ghost, though the pressure's getting to him. I think maybe that Mercedes usually looks like it's on rails. Through Aintree, down onto the Wellington straight towards Brooklands. Is he up by about a tenth? This is Purple through the first sector. This could be the pole lap for Ghost. He's probably got 1 or 2 laps left of this qualifying session. 3 minutes left to go. Wet conditions, treacherous conditions, and it's still incredibly close between the whole of the top 7 maybe, who could see themselves jump up a couple of places just by hooking that corner out, finding a little bit more grip, braking that little bit later. Completely committed through Copse, 147 miles an hour in these conditions. That's both a tribute to Ghost bravery and the Formula 1 car's grip through Maggots and Beckett. Still hardly a break as he goes through Beckett in towards Chapel. This little left kink before he goes down the hanger straight. Is he up in his time? He's lost a little bit through the middle sector, not enough to dethrone at speed. He's going to need a stellar final sector in towards Stowe. Brake at the start of the curb, down a few gears, and then just absolutely hammer that throttle on as soon as you can. Aces moves out the way as he heads towards Vale. Is it for the final time? Is this his final lap? Second gear, roll it through, keep it tidy, gained a little bit of time, it looks good. Is it enough to dethrone speed at the top of the time and sheets? Ghost now across the line. Is it second to first? Across the line, has he improved? No, slightly slower, 1/1000th of a second. He's got to go again, and he will go again. Speed alcoholic 3/10 up, but it's invalidated. He's done a Koru, he's got 1 more lap, he's definitely got 1 more chance. That I do know. Koru out on a lap, Rick's also out on a lap, 3/10 down. He's going to get 1 more. Has he got the fuel? No, yeah, he's going to get 1 more. This is Rick's final lap. He needs to hook this up. He does not want his title rival starting 2 places ahead of him. Pals down to P7. That's how close it is. Look at them. Eat My Dust, a 39.0. Rick, a 39.0. Pals, a 39.0. Ridiculously close. He's on his out lap. 1 minute 14 left to go. Ghost will stay on board. I didn't quite see what his first split time was as he heads down the old pit straight. Speed as well, 2/10 down on this lap. He's got 1 more. He needs this 1 more. It's all or nothing this lap. Absolutely send it. Corey's about to finish off the second sector. Bit tentative through Maggots and Beckett. Just needs to hook up this exit. Chapel onto the hanger straight. He's 4/10 up. He's Purple. Corey, this is your moment. In the Aston Martin towards Stowe. 44 seconds left of the session. The Aston Martin is absolutely blitzing. Can he go from the second row to the first and start from P1 towards Vale? He needs to hook this up. Just again, be careful. Carry that speed through. It's a stellar lap. He doesn't need to throw it away. Get on the power. Be careful. Don't bottle it. Through Club, it's a short run to the line, just needs to get there, across the line, and it's pole position for Corey provisionally, a 38.449. Ghost can only go second, a 38.529. He's got 1 more. Again, he's got to chuck it in and go for it. He's got the ERS speed, 3/10 to the first sector. I think I saw that correctly. He's flying as well. Can Corey defend his pole? He can go again. I don't think he's going to need. He's going to want to. MX P4, Rick P5 across the line. He seems to be up. Is it an improvement to the middle sector? No, only 5th, and the 2 title rivals 4th and 5th. Eat My Dust cannot improve. Where's Speed to the second sector? He's got 1 more left to go. 3 corners at a 10th and a bit, nearly 2/10. He needs a little bit more, about half a tenth or so. This is so close, ladies and gentlemen. In the wet, bit deep through Stowe though. That is a mistake that could cost him this pole position. He's definitely got the pace. He needs to hook up Vale up. He needs to absolutely nail this, and a double front lock up not helping. 4th gear just to get that power. 5th even to get that power. Ghost P2, I think that's how it's going to stay unless he's improving on that final lap. Across the line, it's not enough to improve his position. He stays P3. Ghost is up by about a 10th. He ran a little bit wide through Chapel to the second sector, a 10th and a half, and Purple. Can Ghost nick it right at the end of this session? This is nail biting. Pals goes P5, a 38.7. It's so close, so close. And any tiny mistake, just a little bit of a lock up, a little bit deep, could cost you a position. Corey is going to be absolutely biting his nails. He's hardly got it. He's got it by the skin of his teeth. Ghost through into Club. Bit of a shaky exit as he comes through. Short run to the line. It's pole for Ghost. He nails that final sector with a 1:38.259 and gets himself on pole position for the British Grand Prix. And just look at how close that was. He had like 3, 4, 5 seconds to get to the line, and he put that on pole. Corey is going to be absolutely gutted, but at the end of the day, you've got to be that last person to cross the line. You've got to put the lap in, and that was Ghost. But I cannot wait for this race. Ghost on pole, Corey alongside, Speed and MX, third and fourth. MX starting a couple of places in front of Rick as well. Rick's going to need to come through. I cannot wait for this race. This is going to be a great race. I really cannot wait. At all. It was a massive clutch for Ghost. He needed that last lap, and I do not know how he does it. That's what I was saying. Literally halfway through qualifying, he just puts the lap together. Everything was clean. Everything was tidy. And that's what he did. And he got it on pole. Great stuff. Now he's got 26 laps in order to try and hang on to it. He's very quick around Silverstone, but we paid so much attention to the front, we'll have to pay attention to the rest of the grid. It's Ghost then on pole. Corey will join him for the front row with Speed and MX third and fourth. Paus rounds off the top 5 with Rick in P6. Imodas P7 with Vardy and Tier 8th and 9th. Jackalacco, the Scotsman, rounds out the top 10. Slippy Jimmy in P11. Aces versus Kings couldn't quite manage to get close to the back end of that midfield. He starts 12th. LB in P13. Wumax 14th. RIP in P15. Moti Pretz and Ted 16th and 17th. They'll be starting at the back of the grid. A very close qualifying session, hyping up to be an incredible race, as it always is at Silverstone and in APPF1 in general, but even more so at the home track for a good portion of this grid. Even though we've got quite a few. We've got, I think, Bulgarians, Dutch, Canadians. Yeah, we've got a pretty good grid, and it is drizzle. It's drizzle, but is it enough of a drizzle for intermediates? Is it wet enough for the intermediates? Is there enough standing water on the track for the intermediates? Seems to be a light drizzle. It could be slicks, could be going on to slicks very early on, which again is going to affect the strategy of this race. So I really cannot wait. I know I've said that a lot and I'm repeating myself a lot, but it's true. And if you have anyone that's going to be, that's not busy, certainly get them to tune in, whether they're new to the sport or not. It'd be a pleasure to have them in, and they do not want to miss this race. You've got the formation lap, and then you're going to miss your chance for the start. It's, 13 people watching. Pleasure to have you in. Each and every one of you, pleasure to have you all in. 4 seconds then, they're just setting up their strategy provisionally, talking with their teammates maybe, knowing when to come in, if they need to come in. Let me go green for the formation. Are they slicks? Are they inters? Let's have a look. So they're slicks. They're slicks. They're on slicks. So it's going to be soft to medium. It should be soft to medium. Ghost leads us around then. He wants to get on with it. You need to get some temperature into those tyres. Hello, Scott. Pleasure to have you. Yeah, you just need to get some temperature into those tyres. Otherwise, they're just not going to work off the start at all. Aces has gone for the mediums. That is brave. He is going to struggle to get them into a temperature window. Really, really is. Maybe he's preempting the rain gets worse, doesn't want to make a stop between now and then, but you say that the softs can go really far around Silverstone. Yeah. This is going to be an interesting one. I think off the start, it's going to be... I think people can gain massively or lose massively just as easily because it's wet. You don't really know how much grip you've got. You're on the slicks, yes, but the track's still greasy. You've got to get those tyres up to temperature. They're probably going to be quite cold off the start as well, especially for Ghost because he's bolted. Corey's spun already. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come. I do really want to have a good race. Hopefully in the process of getting a new show reel going, because I sort of need one of them. Need an updated one. So it'd be nice to have some highlights, ladies and gents. Here's Ghost really slowing it down. You can see everyone pretty much, apart from the 2 Alpines, which is surprising for Aces considering he's on the mediums, but pretty much left to right, shaking around, slamming that throttle on. Get some more telemetry up for you all. My legs are really awkwardly hurting. It's strange. Of course I'm stood up, but tactical spin joins the grid last. Yeah, definitely that spin actually warmed his tyres up, funnily enough. So yeah, probably could be. Yeah, so the predicted pit stop strategy then, soft to medium, soft to hard. Going to be interesting start who can adapt to the grip quickest. Definitely, it's going to be who can find the grip and utilise it and be confident enough to use it. You know, it's a risk take because you go to the inside, then it's not actually that much grippy. You try a different line, it's not quite the best. But if it does work, it works well. Because if you can find a dry spot on the track, if you can find anything compared to the rest of the other people, you're going to gain so much. We're all lined up then. The green flag is waved. We get ready to go to 5 red lights ahead of the British Grand Prix. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, and 5 red lights to round number 3 of the Tier 1 Championship. We're underway, and racing seems to be a pretty good start. A stellar start from Eat My Dust off the start as Ghost, pretty tentative. Speed Alcoholic tries to eye up a move, but Eat My Dust, absolutely stellar launch. Already up into P5 as they head in towards Village for the first time. MX looking to the inside of Ghost. Koru has taken the lead into turn 1 as well. Ghost on the outside. It'll be the inside for the loop as they all come through relatively clean. We've got a spin at the back. I think that's Ted, and RIP is going to be saying RIP to the back of the grid. Bit of a slow, well, yeah, Ghost really hasn't gotten off the launch well at all. He's down to P3, even P4 as Speed darts one to the inside into Brooklyn's, not quite committed enough under brakes, but Ghost still leaves him a nice wide berth, and Speed's going to go all the way around the outside, surely not. Opens the door for his teammate to try and sneak one in maybe, but after the first sector, Koru, MX, Ghost, Speed and Eat My Dust, your top 5. Maybe even Speed getting himself onto the podium as well. P4 to 3. He's really pushing Ghost through. He's struggling. Ghost really is. I'm not quite sure what the reason is for it, but he's struggling. Koru has a commanding lead of 1.3 seconds as well, as they will just sort of settle into this race, get themselves warmed up, get themselves going. As well, a bit of quite a few trains actually forming further down the grid. AP falling down to P8. Let's have a look at the position changes after the first lap. Biggest winner was Eat My Dust Jet, up 2, just launched. I think he got such a good launch he couldn't really do much with it after the first sort of bite point because he had a car in front of him and had to swerve out the way, but still a very good initial launch. Ghost, I think he's recovered now. He's back into his rhythm and he's going to try and chase after MX. He's got to. I'm not sure. I think DRS should be enabled. It's not too wet. Pounce is going to eye up a move for Vardy as well, pushing him through nearly through Farm. He just needs to get a little bit closer. Maybe launch one to the inside of the loop. If you can just keep it to the left, it does work surprisingly well because they're just forced to give you the space. And you get a good enough launch off Aintree. Quite. Speed and Ghost chasing after MX. Koru's still 2-second lead. He's really adapted to these conditions well. Got these tyres warmed up, and that's what matters. That formation lap was huge for him. And we've got a nice little train going on here. Rick as well is quite slow. He needs to get onto the back of Eat My Dust. Get into that DRS. Latch onto the back of him. Reel him in from then on. But he's not using a lot of ERS. That is important. 4/10 between Ghost and MX. He's going to want to dispatch him pretty quickly if he wants any chance of chasing after Koru, who at the moment is on a runaway. It definitely is very greasy. It's going to be who can be confident enough first, I think, because they can definitely go quicker. They just don't want to risk spinning, especially when you're inside the top 5. You're comfortable, you're safe at the moment. You don't want to throw it all away straight away. Ghost though is closing very quickly as we round off lap 2. 3-second lead for the Aston Martin of Koru, then MX, Ghost, Speed, and Eat My Dust makes it a McLaren 4-5 through Vale. And that Mercedes wants the best launch he possibly can get. Another fastest lap for Koru, to be expected, 36.4. But it's not that much quicker than qualifying. Of course, they've got the race fuel in, they're being careful. DRS is enabled this lap, that should help Ghost. And then eventually Speed, Tyr and Pulse both with 3-second penalties as well, which is very strange. But in towards the loop, this is probably going to be one of the most important exits of Ghost's race. Needs to launch the car off, needs to use that DRS and that ERS down the Wellington straight. Now deploying that extra 160 brake horsepower. MX going defensive to the left hand side. Ghost isn't quite close enough. Are we going to see any moves further down? Doesn't look like it. Again, they're all locked in that DRS train where they can't really do much because the guy in front has the DRS to then defend with. And RIP, another spin through Sector 1, which is a shame. But it is treacherous conditions, very, very wet indeed. But MX is doing all he can to try and keep the three cars behind him. Ghost, Speed, and Enigma Dust, both McLarens chasing after the two in front. Working together nicely though. AP eyes up and move on Vardy. Is he going to go for it? Surely not. Yeah, he was a little bit too far back to eye that one up. But if Ghost can get a good launch through Chapel, he's got a good shot into Stowe. Same for Speed. Speed's actually closing very quickly on Ghost. Are we going to see a change for third instead of second? To the inside, they're going to be three abreast maybe. Speedster looks to the inside of Ghost, who looked to the inside of MX, but just sort of thought to back out of it. Ghost now being forced to go defensive. Speed going to commit to the outside. How late can he brake? Incredibly late. A little bit too late though. Den doesn't have the bite into the next part. He's going to get switched back by his teammate perhaps. Very close, but yeah, it was a good effort. If it paid off, it paid off. If he could have just got it turned in a little bit, he would have had the inside for the next part of the corner, and then that would have helped him tremendously. But that's sort of killed that momentum and allowed Rick to join this fight, in fact, which he's going to want to do. He does not want to be losing, what, 4 points to MX when they're already tied. We got a spin. I think that's Rumax off Abby. Very easy mistake to make as well. Ghost closing on MX, but again, just saving his ERS. Because Koru is gone. Koru is absolutely gone. He loves Silverstone. He, of course, won his I think his only win, the sprint here at Silverstone. I think that was also a runaway, and he's replicating that success today. Will Ghost want to find a way through? Is Ghost going to find a way through, or is Speed going to get to him first? Yeah, MX doesn't always have the best qualifyings, but his starts are fantastic. Puts the car where it needs to be, and then just says, nah, I'm coming through whether you like it or not. Takes advantage of the clumped up nature of the starts and just says, okay, I'm going down the inside, I'm going around the outside, you're going to be pinched, I'm going this way. But then once they settle back in and Ghost now back in his rhythm, chasing after him down the hangar straight. Is he going to go to the inside of Stowe? Not quite close enough, but again, just being tentative, doesn't want to throw it all away. Past Vardy to the inside of Stowe. Is Vardy going to come back at him, or are they going to play the team game? Are they going to play together, play nice? No, Vardy looking to the inside, backs out of it. Interval, the fight for 7th, 2.2 off the next car. That is this train for P2. He's all aboard the MX train. Look at them, they're all locked together. Rick involved, but none of them can make a move, I think, until Ghost does. Once Ghost comes through, MX is then knocked out of his rhythm, unless he can tuck back in quickly. And go to the back. This is LB to the inside of Abby, side by side. Fair play, guys. All comes back onto the track. Bit of contact. Very, very easily could have ended messy. But we turn our attention back to the front. MX once more breaking that slipstream. Not quite close enough. Again, Speed still being tentative. They're all just saving their ERS. Just being cautious. Is the rain getting worse? That's what I want to know. Or is it just staying like this? Is it going to stay like this for the rest of the race? Ace is a spun. Is that with his fight with LB perhaps? Is what I want to know. Have they come together? Multi-Protect is slow, RIP is slow. Speed though, all over the rear end of Ghost into Cops, pushing him through. Not particularly somewhere you want to be through Cops. It's a very fast corner, and you don't want to be blind through it. But they are nose to tail, these three. Even these four. Rick can definitely get his Ferrari onto the back of it as well. Again, Ghost needs the exit. It's all about the exit in the rain. You can be as quick as you like through the corners, but that's not going to help you much if you can't get the drive down the straight. That's where the moves are made. They're not made mid-corner. So Ghost needs to do that. He needs to, whether it's off the loop, through Aintree, out of Chapel, or just absolutely send one to the inside of Vale. But yeah, you cannot separate these guys by much more. Lap 5 of 26. Lap 6 of 26, in fact, as Corey just blitzes through, as One Wing correctly said, he is just on one. He has got some pace, and he looks tidy as well. We haven't seen much of him, but he looks tidy. Just look, smooth as you'd like it, not hacking at the steering wheel, not wrestling the car at all, just keeping it through. Hardly a lockup, which in these conditions is very impressive. Especially as to how fast he's going compared to these guys. Great consistency from Koru. I hope I'm not jinxing that. But again, through Aintree. Onto this back straight. Darting to the inside is MX. It's just not long enough, I don't think. Is Rick going to go for a move maybe on Eat My Dust? Going to send one to the inside. Again, just not quite close enough because everyone in front of him has got the DRS and the slipstream and the ERS to defend with. So no one's able to get the run. It's going to take a mistake. And Ghost, he's stuck behind him. Rick actually does go for a move into left field. We missed that one. Probably, as I say, a mistake from My Dust, because you don't often find yourself going for a move. They're going to be side by side into Cops. Is the McLaren going to go around the outside? No. Rick claims the corner. And My Dust going to come back at him, maybe side by side into Magazine Beckers. Does not work 9 times out of 10. Through no driver's fault, just the nature of the corners and how they're one-lined. And it's very easy to come together. Just a little bit of understeer, a bit of a snap, and you are around. This is surely it for Ghost, though. He's blitzing after that Alfa Romeo down in towards Stowe. Is he close enough? He's going to pull to the right-hand side, sends one. MX says, no, you don't. Keeps his foot in around the outside. They're now side by side on the run towards Vale. Ghost gives him the squeeze. It's the outside for the penultimate corner, the penultimate chicane. And MX covers it off beautifully, making that Alfa Romeo very wide. He does not want to relinquish this P2 anytime soon. And he's still got a lot of ERS in the battery, as Speed can only sit spectator. Purple to the final sector, which shows he's got pace, or shows the track's improving. Either way, it shows that they're getting quicker and they can go quicker into Village. I think Ghost is turning it up. Bit of a snap though, that could open the door for Speed. Is he going to go for the switcheroo or around the outside? He's going to dance that McLaren around the outside. Surely not. Tried. Fair play. If he'd have looked like an absolute hero if he did that. As we've got LB going around through turns 1 and 2 into Brooklands. Ghost seems to be slow. In fact, slow in, fast out. Closes that time back up on MX. And you can see Speed just wants to get on with it. He really does. He's braking so much later, having to go in deep to avoid them. He just wants to go, wants to get past and go. But 7-second lead for Koru on lap 7. He's on average a second a lap quicker than these guys. In fact, we haven't even done all of lap 7. I do not know how Koru's made 7 seconds. MX is making that car very wide. But yeah, Ghost arguably could be a little bit more aggressive. MX is going to get a good run off that as well. Ghost isn't. He's made that corner way too tight for him, and you can just see how the Alfa Romeo just launches away from him. Gains a lot of time. Ghost is now gaining it back. MX breaking the slipstream. Again, not close enough. He stays defensive. That could hinder his run into Vale if Ghost can just get that wide line, get that traction. Not quite. Yeah, Koru is in the zone. Yeah, literally, it's all about the exit. We've got Wumax, I think, round as well. A lot of spins from the lower down guys. It's all about exit speeds. It's just get that late apex, get that straight line, because in the wet you've got almost too much power to get the car going. Because if you try and slam that throttle down, all you're doing is going to spin the rear. So you need a straight line just to make sure you can get that traction. The Ghost isn't doing that, and that's what MX is doing perfectly here to defend. Just notice he's sort of squaring off the line a little bit, like a little bit, just to get that straighter run through and get that exit off the corner. Because if you can get a good exit and you're ahead enough into the braking zone, he can't do anything. He's stuck. Even though he's quicker here, look at Speed. Even though he's quicker mid-corner, all he can do is back out. There's no space, as I'm sure it's obvious enough, but it just shows how tricky wet conditions is, and how tricky, more particularly, racing in wet conditions is. As My Dust has gone round off the exit at left field, seems to be struggling with that. That's how Rick got through, and that's how Paus, Vardy, Tyr, Slippy Jimmy and Jack Alacco have all come through as well. He's down to P11 in this race, and Paus P6 and 1.5 off. If they start battling a little bit more, Paus could be in the running for P2. I think it definitely is a race for second at this point. We're nearly a third of the way through this race. Down this hanger straight in towards Stowe. How late can he be on the brakes? Not late enough. Even in the wet, you're not late into Stowe. You're just hardly on it. You just use it to pitch the front end in, and then you're straight back onto the power. And as Jackie Stewart once said, you do not want to touch that throttle until you know you don't need to come off it. And what he means by that is you're either on the brakes or you're on the throttle, and you don't touch that throttle. You don't blip it. You don't go blip, 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 because all that's doing is spinning the rears, pretty much confusing the car. So through Stowe, you off the brakes, get onto the throttle a little bit, then transition it on, as Wumax becomes our first retirement of this race. Unfortunately, we're going to lose him, retiring in the pit lane, which is a shame. But he feels that he can't do much more in this race. I thought that was MX for a second as his teammate. That would have been tragic if I missed that one. But yeah, Wumax has called it a day today, called it quits, and they are still in this train, really, really close. No safety car as of yet. I think a safety car would spice things up a little bit. Still yellow flags as MX goes a little bit too deep through left field. I think what Ghost is doing is he wants to nip it on the inside and then claim the corner and blame it on understeer. But look at Speed, that run in towards Cop's corner. Is it going to be Mercedes on the outside and McLaren on the inside? Is he going to be committed enough? He looks to the inside, but I think just has to back out, and Ghost is always going to turn across in there. Going to be one of those things that, well, either you back out or we are going to crash. And just sort of bullied him into it. But fair enough to Ghost. He had the line, he was ahead. And if Speed launched one to the inside, we got a safety car. No! Speed wasn't expecting it and tapped the rear end of Ghost. We have a safety car. RIP we've lost him from this race. This is probably perfect timing. I think Corey's going to come in, yeah. He's got to come in. He can't risk it. But has Speed got damage? Has Speed got damage? That was a big hit. Luckily, neither of them have got penalties. Thankfully, neither of them have got penalties. But yeah, they're all piling their way into the pit lane. And it's a very slow, very long pit lane. Rick, again, trying to do a Seb Vettel and get the move done in the pits. But it's going to be whose pit crew can get them out quickest. They were very close. Corey's going to be in and out easy as you like it, really. But is the Mercedes... They're first, though. They've got a lot of cars coming through. He might get held. Or just managed to get out. Found a pocket of space. Rick in. Rick out. Where's... MX is clearly in front of him. It's fine. Yeah, this... Oh, Palps has stayed out. Wait a minute. Is that because of the double stack or because he wants to stay out? He's going to catch the safety car, and if he does come in, he's going to lose a lot of time. Yeah, this hasn't played out well for Palps because he is the leader. He has to line up behind the safety car, yeah? Oh, that's not good. That's not good for Palps. Not at all. Not one bit. Which is unfortunate. Hopefully we can get back to green flag running very soon. Because, yeah, I think if they just need to get this launch. They need to get the restart. But, yeah. This is going to be... We're nearly halfway through. Lap 10 of 26. And so far it's been shut up, Zuberman. I've been awake. I've been well. I've been doing it for the last 2 weeks. Okay. I'm fine now. Absolutely fine. Absolutely spiffing. But yeah, no, I'm here. I'm here. Pleasure of you to join us. Very late. Nearly halfway through. You missed most of the action. To be fair, there hasn't been much in terms of side by side. We've had the likes of MX, Ghost, Rick. In fact, both McLarens have lost a lot. I think Speed did have to repair the car, yeah. But he's got the pace to come back through. So he probably will come back through. Palps has got to come in. He's got to go to the back of the grid. Pretty much it'll be P12, because if he goes when they're green, then... No, he's staying out. I've been back on the comms for the last 2 weeks, Zuba. So I think Palps is committing to this. I think this is intentional. It wasn't a mistake. Or it was a mistake and he's just committing to it. I'm interested how this is going to work out for him. Of course he's leading the race, and MX has got a 5-second penalty. No! Ghost and MX have given each other a 5-second penalty. These two were probably one of the only two that could realistically give Corey a challenge, and even that's a far shot, and they've just ruined it. 5 seconds apiece. Rick could do really well in this race, especially with his championship rival, not Jam Pancakes, MX, having to have that 5-second penalty. If they stop again, he's going to have to serve that in the pits. If not, and they're still that close, 5 seconds could drop him 3-4 places if they remain close. Well, this is oh, yeah, he's going to have to drive his socks off. He is going to have to drive those socks off. Whoa. Blimey. Blimey, blimey, blimey. It's dramatic, as it always is at Silverstone. Hopefully we can have a bit more side-by-side action. But yeah, you can see why they're not going for the move. They don't want to risk it. What has Speed done? He tapped Ghost. Wait, he's fallen back even more. Did he pit again? I think he pit again. for fresh tyres. Wait, he hasn't got a penalty. I'm not sure. Of course, he tapped Ghost before the safety car come out, or as the safety car come out. And of course, lost a few places because of that, and he's lost a few more now as well. Yeah, that's very weird. Palps could actually hold Koru up if MX just needs to be really aggressive, which he usually is. MX is very aggressive usually. He needs that today. Obviously remaining clean, as they always do in APPF1, but he needs that off the start. I think we're going to wait one more lap for the the Haas of Multi-Pellets to catch up, and then we'll go green again. Maybe he got damage, or we wanted to. He didn't get a pen. Neither of them got a penalty, unless I missed something. Yeah, no. Ghost has only got 5 seconds. They both would have got a penalty. But that is true. I don't know. Would it be worth serving the penalty? No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be worth it. He must have got damage, but if he got damage, that means he hit someone and would have got a penalty for it. Yeah, this is weird. That's weird for speed. I'm guessing he just wanted really fresh tyres to just come through again. Yeah, because he's going to need them. Every little helps. Every advantage, every tiny little bit that you can make up will help. So, that's that. But yeah, hopefully we can go racing soon. Fingers crossed, man. But I'm curious what Pals is going to do. In all honesty, with his strategy, he's got to come in soon. And that's the only realistic thing I can see him doing is hoping for an early safety car straight away. But even then, that seems unlikely. That really does seem unlikely. He's going to tumble back to the back of the grid. And under green, he's going to lose a lot more time. If he pit now, he'd be at the back of the grid. He'd join the back. Under green, he's going to be 20 seconds off Ted or Multi-Pellets. So, what do you guys think? Is he sacrificing this race to benefit? That could be, yeah. Actually, good point, Scott. I've completely missed that. Yeah, Palps goes to teammates. Palps could just be the... But then Palps is driving his own race. Palps is quick. Palps is very quick. Safety car is in the slab. He's going to lead us round. Needs to get those tyres warmed up then if he wants any launch off the grid. But yeah, good shout, Scott. Actually, yeah, didn't think of that. Could be team orders, but that's a big sacrifice. It might not even work. He's got old tyres compared to Corey, who's very fast, and it's ruining Palps' race essentially. But he needs to control the restart, control it well. Corey needs to close up. He's got between now and the timer line to bolt it, and when is that going to be? Out of club, Kuru is going to be watching him like a hawk when he bolts it. And through club, and we're back to green. Flag racing up 13 of 26, dead on halfway. It's Palps, Kuru, MX and Ghost that lead the way. Rick rounds off the top 5. A very wide Slippy Jimmy in the Alpine could invite Jackalacco to come back up the inside, but Palps leads 8 tenths already from Kuru. And it seems these medium tyres are going to be one pain to warm up. We saw how much Ace has struggled at the start of the race. Something happens on the restart, he needs to get lucky. Yeah, definitely. But he's not gotten off quick. Again, it's the starts is getting up to speed for Ghost, but once he's there, he's rapid. But yeah, it seems just about tyre temper. You can see a couple of people wiggling. We've got Slippy Jimmy and going side by side with Vardy, 2 by 2 in fact into Brooklands, because Tears looking up the inside of the Ferrari, gets the squeeze, but brings it through. The Alpine's round. In fact, Slippy Jimmy's gone round. There's yellow flag sector 1 and 2. As Tier goes to the inside of Woodcut maybe. But yeah, very, very tentative, and I think Tier just backed out of that one as to not hit any well, just getting involved in anything, to be honest. There's a couple of penalties coming through now. But yeah, Vardy. Apparel did, yeah, that was to perfection. That was, yeah, clean as you'd like it. Just got off and went. But now Corey's starting to close it back. I think these medium tyres, what you can see, even down the straight, even 3/4 of a lap in, he's weaving left, right, just getting some temperature in. As we got the McLaren of Tyr to the McLaren of Emma Dust to the inside of Tyr into Stowe. The Williams going to say, nah, you don't. Around the outside. Keep him honest. The McLaren keeps it there, though. It's going to be the outside. Is he going to dummy to the inside? He's definitely got the space to. Who's latest under brakes? It's the McLaren. And Tyr just lets him through. Pretty much waves him by. Doesn't do it quite. Emma Dust going to give him the space. Has he got the traction? Yes, he has. Using the karting line. That outside grip through club. And that keeps the position. Great driving from Tyr to defend that. It's only for 8th, but that was stellar stuff. And this could be a very nice battle indeed, as he's going to go back around the outside into Village. That again going to be the inside of the loop, but the Williams claims the corner, just scares him off. Says, you're not coming through. Moty Pedets has retired on track. If this is a safety car, VSC. It's ooh, Corey's 3 seconds. He cut entry, I think, a little bit. And that's given him 3 seconds, so nearly level in terms of... Oh, and it's a full course safety car. Full course. Who's coming in? They could go softs. Easily could go softs. Are they all going to come back in for softs? Because they've seen how slow these mediums are off the start and how quick the softs are. Palf's, even on 13-lap old softs, is rapid off the start against Corey, who's been dominating this race. Are they all going to come in for softs? Palf's can't. Palf's has to use mediums. This... You don't often see it on the Formula 1 games, but it very much easily could be one in the pit lane. You often see it in sort of 4, 6, 8, 12-hour races. In the GTEs and the GT3s and all that malarkey. Where it's won and lost in the pit lane, where you have to time your stints very well. You don't often see it in Formula 1. Of course, strategy is a big part of it, but not in the Formula 1 game as much. But in these wet, changeable conditions with safety cars, Palf's, yeah, definitely coming in. Corey comes in very late. Everyone follows him. They're all in for softs. Vardy's going to stay out, though. Vardy's going to take the lead. He's on the mediums. Is to the end. He's going to have to hang these out. He's got to try it, right? Even if he loses places, it's better than what he had. Who else is in? Who else is out, in fact? Speed stays out. Speed's on the mediums. He's just come in. He's staying out with everyone else. Vardy, Tyr, and Speed are your top 3. Is Corey losing places? Surely not. Palf's is in. Palf's is out. He's on the mediums. Corey's on the softs. Easy decision. This is a very busy pit lane. There could be a jumble up in the order here. Rick's down. Oh yeah, because they served their penalty, didn't they? Yeah, Ghost and MX have to come in to serve their penalties. They're on the softs as well. They've lost a little bit of time. Ghost more so than MX. They're going to be coming through. We've got some action. See, Scott, that is also good. If anyone did that now, they'd be laughing. If you did what you did, yeah, you'd be absolutely laughing in this race. You'd be leading the way and on softs. I like this race. I really like this race, yeah. Big brain plays from Scott. Yeah, if anyone did that. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. You guys know more than me. You guys should take my job. But yeah, Vardy's going to lead the way. Speed's P3, yeah. Ace is P4 as well. AP P5 on the mediums. He's got everyone else on the softs. The top 5 on mediums, everyone else on the softs. Oh, your boy Kian. Well, my pleasure, my pleasure. Yeah, Kian, man. Thanks for watching. And yeah, it's a pleasure to have you around. I hope you're enjoying watching along with your dad. I assume. I assume you're watching. Hope you're watching. But yeah, you're definitely not missing out, and I hope I hope that you get into racing. And yeah, maybe I'll see you on a grid someday. Who knows? Yeah, nice to have you, kid. 16 of 26. We spent a good 6 laps under the safety car. And those in the top 5, they're committing. Anytime. But yeah, the top 5, they're committing. Speed's out. What's happened to Speed? Where? What? Where is he? Where is Speed crashed? Is that a wheel disconnection? I'm very confused. He's parked it to the side of the road. No way. How? How? He could have won this. I would have give at least a podium. How have you managed that, mate? Ah, man, that's a weird one. Very, very weird. Jamie Vardy is leading. Not bad for a Leicester City player. Yeah, definitely. Maybe Speed was driving. Probably. That was... I'm sorry. That's got to be hardware. Hardware issue stopping him, and he's just had to pull it over and park it to benefit everyone else. Because you can't lose that there. Like, yeah, he has a dodgy controller. That's what I would put it down to. I was going to say I'm not the best through Village, but I'd like to think I wouldn't do it there. But yeah, now down to 13 with what will be 10 laps to go. I think we're going to go green at the end of this lap. Vardy's going to lead us off. Tier and Aces second and third, with Pal's fourth now and Corey fifth. Safety car in this lap. You can see Vardy backing off, slowing it down. He needs to get these tyres into a nice temperature window if he wants any chance against the softs. And you can see Corey wants to get on with it. He's alongside Pals. And he's got ahead of Pals, in fact. Yeah, he's gone off the track. Could he lose a place to Rick if he's off the track? No, surely not. But anyway, we go back to the front because Vardy's punched it already. He's gone. He wants to get those tyres up to speed, use that full... Corey and Pals are still going side by side. They've lost so much time. I'm confused. I'm very confused. It's not green yet. That's got to be an illegal overtake. But Vardy's gone. And he's not had the best of restarts at all. Tier already looking up his inside. Pushing him through Abby now. And he's going to be looking to the right-hand side in towards Village. How late can he be under brakes? It's going to be very late indeed. Later than the Red Bull. The Alpine of Aces actually going into the back of him. So Tier takes the lead. Aces touching the rear end of him. Goes off the track. And that is the thing. These mediums aren't warmed up. And a very costly mistake from these. Rick's gotten into P4. I think Palps has been caught up in that as well. Very wide off the track. Losing tons of positions. Ghost goes through. He's going to hyper move on Aces to the inside down the Wellington straight. Yeah, I'm trying to. As MX side by side with Rick. Rick covers him off. Going to go for the switcheroo. It's going to be the outside for Luffield. Can he get it done? The Alfa Romeo going to send one around the outside. These are two championship rivals tied on points. And whoever comes out on top is going to take the championship lead. And neither of them want to concede. As we've got Vardy. He's gone round off of Woodcote. He's going to tumble down to the back of the grid. As MX looking on the outside of Rick. Is he going to go for the old switcheroo under and over in towards Maggots and Beckett? Not quite. Is the answer to that one. Tier leads comfortably. 2.8 from Corey, then Rick, MX just behind, and Eat My Dust, the top 5. But yeah, costly mistakes from big contenders. Big contenders in this race. And now that rule on their fight back to the front. AP, he's going to eye up Aces first. He's got fresher tyres, the ERS and the Slipstream. MX as well on Rick. This is also going to be a very interesting fight to watch between the two. We've not got long left in this race. Lap 17 of 26 as we go on to 18. Tier leading the way. Again, gaining time on Corey. Has this been bottled up? No, Corey sets the fastest lap of the race. 1:36.1. Yeah, very quick times. We'll get DRS at the end of the next lap. Tier a 3-second penalty. That could cost him. Could cost him a few places in this race. But now we've got Eat My Dust, Jack Lacko and Ghost all onto the back of this. All of them on softs. Equal tyres. It's just down to who's the quicker man at this point. MX needs the exit, needs that straight line. Look at him, he's still not full throttle even through Aintree, which is usually flat out in the dry. That's how bad these conditions are, and Rick has just gapped him. That's the thing about being brave. If you're confident you're going to gain time, Eat My Dust into Brooklands. Under pressure from the Ferrari. Into Luffield, and MX has made that time back up. Koru as well on the back of Tier. This shouldn't be a hard overtake for him. He's pushing like mad. He's on softs in cold conditions, which are always going to work better. pretty even for most people. I think Ghost could just like be stuck here, just plateau. Again, he struggled to get past MX, Aces, and Palfs into Maggotts and Beckett's. No way. But Koru is going for the move for the race lead to the inside of the Williams. Is he going to put up much of a fight? Can he put up much of a fight? And Koru to the inside. He had a 7-second lead before the whole safety car by Larky. He's now back in front and on the fresh softs. Probably going to take off and absolutely dispatch from the rest of the grid with 9 laps to go. As Palfs and they're 3 abreast, the 2 Alpines in the middle, and then the Mercedes of Palfs around the outside, side by side between the 2 Alpines. Palfs just trying to find a way through, 3 abreast into Vale, even though it's for 8th. And Aces just about manages to stay in front for now. Palfs going to try it around the outside of Slippy Jimmy, gets caught on the curb. Ted and LB come through. This is a very close pack, good racing. Shame it's not a similar story up here with the same amount of cars. To the inside goes, very late under brakes, and yeah, brown pants moment. Gonna send one. That is the loop trick. You send one to the inside. You can see Jacko's giving him the space, so why not use it? Try and claim the corner, put him off. Eat my dust, a big snap. DRS open now. Is MX line up and move on Rick? No. Is Jacko Ghost? Jacko goes defensive, goes to the outside, swoops around the outside of Brooklands, even takes the race line just to put salt in the wound a little bit there, and up into P6 is the 3-time sprint champion. Major Desler cheering on for Ghost, as I think we all are. He's on a charge, on an absolute rampage. LB gets past Aces, side by side down the old pitch straight. Good action between these guys, keeping it fair, keeping it clean. But LB gets himself in front, of course with those softer tyres. But yeah, Tier's doing really well. Even though he's on old mediums, he's doing fantastic. He's got some pace. Could be a podium. I think that penalty is going to drag him down a little bit, which is a shame. With MX to the inside? No, definitely not. It's nowhere near close enough. But filling the mirrors of Rick, putting the pressure on. Going to the inside, saying, "Hey, I'm here." Yeah, we always love a Ghost charge. Well, my favourites was when Vardy used to just cut his way through the sprint championship. That was phenomenal. But Koru, a 35.590 for the fastest lap. He is just on one now. 2 seconds lead already, with 7 laps left of this race to go. 20 of 26. It's Koru, Tier, and Rick, your podium sitters for now. With MX and Emo Industrial top 5. Then comes Ghost close behind in the McLaren, in the Mercedes. Both Mercedes powered. Down the Wellington straight. DRS open for the Mercedes. In the slipstream. Is he close enough to launch one to the inside? He was confident when he got past Jacko. Not quite to get the McLaren. But then comes Jack Lacko in 7th. Slippy Jimmy, LB and Aces round off the top 10 with Palfs and Ted 11th and 12th. Back to it then. Ghost is probably going to be the next one to make an overtake. He wants to get past the McLaren. Just needs to find a way through, pick his moments. He does sort of need to get a hurry on actually, if he wants to get a podium. He's 1 second off the 2 in front. DRS is way too... to be fair, compared to Imola, it's not too bad around Silverstone. Imola is just ridiculous. Once more, DRS for MX. 4/10 back, that's doable. He's closing and closing and closing. You can see Rick doesn't really know where to go in terms of track position. Finally commits to the inside. Here comes the Alfa Romeo. Is he going to go all the way around the outside? Can't, because Rick covers it off nicely, but you can see this front wing. He's very close. He's going to launch one to the inside. A little bit late. Tries to move back onto the racing line. Nearly into the back of the Ferrari, but very close. And neither of these title contenders want to take each other out. And with speed, yeah, speed was only 4 points off them. He's now going to be quite a few points behind them again, so it could be a runaway for Rick and MX, to be honest. But at the moment, Rick will lead the championship, as long as he doesn't have any more dicey moments like that one. As they go through, and Ghost launches one to the inside of the loop. That's how it's done. Claims the corner, still side by side, bit of contact. No, that is not how it's done. Ghost is round, and he's been disqualified from the session. No way. Because he cut across, that's the only place he could realistically go. And he's out, that's it for Ghost. That's not how you do it into the loop. It's doable, but I think he just got a bit of a snap. Wasn't expecting the McLaren to stick it there, and around he went. And that is a big shame. That is nothing for Ghost. After all of that, that is heartbreak for him. Yeah, Scott is upset. But we've still got a race in our hands. We've lost, what is that now, 6 drivers in this race. And they've got the fight for 3rd at the moment between Rick and MX. Through into Chapel. Now they are chasing after Tier after a while, so it could be one better for both of them. But here comes MX. He's closing. He's a lot closer than he was the lap previously. Rick goes defensive to the inside. Going to force the Alfa Romeo the long way round. Rick late under brakes. The Alfa Romeo even later soars around the outside. And now can Rick come back at him into Vale. Going to eye up the inside. How late can it be under brakes? Is it late enough? Not quite. So MX through. As Corey sets another fastest lap of the race. He is on a charge. 35.2. Which again is only a few seconds quicker than qualifying, and they're on slicks. So yeah, that's weird, but AP gets past LB into turn 1. Pretty plain centre move, just don't want to miss the action, give him a bit of airtime. And now MX, is he going to get past Tier? First time's the charm. To the outside, he's committed to it. He gave him the space on the inside. Can he defend it? No, MX is very late under brakes. A little bit too late. The Williams comes back at him, sort of. But Rick wants to clear him as quickly as possible. Needs to get through. And Corey's already outdriven that penalty. Yeah, 7-second lead already. And yeah, he's going to need to get 2 more. As we've got Ted around as well. Through turn 2. Hopefully that's not a safety car. It could well be. Rick maybe into Maggins and Beckett. Surely not. He's going to go to the inside. He's committed to it. Are they going to be given the space? The Ferrari darts. There's contact. No! Rick into the barrier. And that's out. That is no chance now. He's got to pit. No, Rick. Ah. That hurts. That really hurts for him. As My Dust now is the one to fight against Siri. He could get himself a podium here. Jack Alacco, actually, in terms of penalties, will be the one on the podium. AP gets through. Rick. It could have... No. He had the run, but he needed to be more committed to it. He was sort of half in, half out, and then over that sausage curb through maggots. It's huge, and it will spit you out, especially going that quick. You lift the floor up, that airflow's disrupted. You are gone, mate. Absolutely gone. And yeah, that's Rick. That's Rick's days done. Yeah, exactly. He had a DRS zone coming up as well. It's all about patience, all about thinking. And now, MX is just clear to gain what, 8 points on him? 8 points, yeah. He's not going to get Corey, but I don't think he cares. My Dust gets past of Tier, who's gone round. He's got a lot of spins late on. I think they're tired. Maybe some pressure getting to them a little bit, but. Yeah, now Jack Alacco's. He's clear to chase after My Dust. They haven't... Well, they've got MX 1.6 in front. Can they chase after him? But Powell's somehow has salvaged the top 6 in this. As My Dust has gone round as well. Wait, that's the second time out of Luffield. He spun earlier on as well. And he recovered to a podium. Stiffy Jimmy into P4. Could be his highest result, I think, in a while. Yeah, we've only, what, 3.5 laps left to go. And they're all the bottle lid's open. Is the track getting worse? I don't think so. It doesn't look worse. It looks better, if anything. Or at least the same. The skies look clearer, but LB and Powell's working together nicely. Whether that's going to continue now that LB's close and has arguably got a run. But yeah, drama-filled British Grand Prix here, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy. Corey was an absolute beast. He really is, yeah, certainly. My legs are tired. I'm now sat on my bed. It's a little bit further away, but slightly more comfortable because my legs are tired. And there's not really much going on, so we can just sit down and relax for the last 3 laps in fact, 24, 25 and 26. But now you can see more rain spots on the halo. Has the rain got heavier? That's my question. I am curious. But yeah, LB and Powell still going at it. Very close. Fuming, I can imagine, Ghost. I can imagine. That was, you had a comeback on the cards there, which is a shame how it ended. And to be fair, you wouldn't get disqualified for that in real life at all. But again, the game is not very nice to you ever. Ever is the is the emphasis. Yeah, 3 turns between LB and AP. This is the closest battle on track. Probably going to be the only battle on track. Yeah, everyone else is spaced out. These guys are very close. Had to do it because I had no chance in the DRS straight. I'm assuming the McLaren had oversteer. Yeah, it looked like it. It looked like one of you had oversteer. Whether it was you or... No, this will not be Corey's maiden victory. In fact, it's going to be his second victory and his second at Silverstone. He won the reverse grid sprint race here at Silverstone. I think it was either last season or the season before. Probably last season, actually. And yeah, managed to win. Dominant victory then as well, as I said earlier on. And this will be his second victory. He's played this great. And I was knocking him earlier for consistency. And, you know, not putting the laps together, not being able to carry that forward into the race. And he's done exactly that. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still got a lap and a half left to go. But it's looking good. And as long as he keeps it tidy, he got 9 seconds, doesn't need to risk anything. He just needs to drive it home. Really just needs to drive it home. Actually, Eat My Dust is on the back of Slip Jimmy, recovering to P4. If he can recover to P4, should be a good result. But here's LB closing on AP to the left hand side. The Mercedes versus the Haas, not something you often see. Powell's trying to keep him honest around the outside. The Haas gives him the squeeze, doesn't quite give him enough room as Rick sets the fast lap, a 35.184. Going to claw back 1 point against this rival MX who's finishing second. Ooh, that's got to hurt. It's got to hurt. Yeah, a lot of strange. His first tier 1 race, it'll be his first victory. If he brings it home, he's got one more lap. 1 lap and 2 corners to be precise. If he can hook it up. Can AP get that P6 back? I mean, in terms of penalties, what would it be? I think it might just be. Yeah, he's going to get it back anyway, but still nice to get it done on track. Eat My Dust all over the rear end of that Alpine as well. Onto the final lap of this race. They'll start it in just a second. Going to go for the old double under and over maybe. Slippy Jimmy parks it nicely and defends from Eat My Dust very well. Track looks a bit drier. Another snap of oversteer from the McLaren. He's been very twitchy. So I think that's going to be the thing. I think that's going to be what it's put down to. That's what it's going to be put down to at the end of the day. The McLaren just got a bit of a snap. And it's unfortunate that the ramifications, or not necessarily ramifications, but more consequences for Ghost was that his race was ended through no fault of his own. Which, again, is one of those sucky things. Here's Eat My Dust, though. Going to go around the outside of the Alpine, keep his foot in. Nah, just a little bit too late. The corner doesn't go on for long enough. And if it did, he probably would have just got that done. As AP has kept LB honest now. Both sets of tyres are out. And Eat My Dust again off the exit of Luffield. Really? That's 3 times this race. He spun off the exit of Luffield. And he's now lost 2 places. So Pounce has got 6th, even 5th. As Corey actually gets another penalty. It won't affect him at all. He's now going to come through the final couple of corners. He's going to win his 2nd British Grand Prix, his first in Tier 1. He's played this race to absolute perfection. Slightly a little bit off pole, didn't quite hook the lap up together. In fact, Ghost did, but he comes across the line. He's led pretty much most of these laps and wins with the fastest lap, a 35.123. And MX 11 seconds later will finish 2nd. He extends his championship lead at the top of the table. 2nd place for him. Jack Lacko, an outstanding 3rd place finish. Slippy Jimmy will finish P4. I think his highest finish of the season ever as he gets a 5-second penalty. It won't affect him. LB P5 will be P6, maybe even P7 because Eat My Dust did get away well. AP P5, Eat My Dust P6 and LB P7 with tier purple to the middle sector. He's quick, 2 seconds up on his time. He's been quick pretty much for this, well, for this race, just hasn't really gone his way. And he could set the fastest lap here. Could be a good lap. Rick as well, he's on fresh softs. Whether they're, well, he's run out of ERS's here, but he's used all of it on this lap. Around the final corner, a bit twitchy. Is it the fastest lap? Not quite. Very close though. As Rick across the line, didn't quite set it. Smacks into the... he might have got a 20-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flag. How that happened, I don't know. But then it's Eat My Dust, Rick, Tier, Aces and Ted. That was something, ladies and gents. That was a British Grand Prix. Yeah, MX, you salvaged P2 there. Very good. And the fact Rick Deer, well, pretty much finished it right at the back of the grid. Extended your championship lead by quite a margin. But after 26 laps of hard, intense, dramatic racing, And they very deservedly so take their steps on the podium. Just getting to the end was hard enough. Yeah, absolutely, Scott. To put it bluntly. So it is Corey then that takes his first Tier 1 victory, his second at the British Grand Prix. The home hero takes the checkered flag. MX in P2 with Jackalacco P3. The Scotsman doing all he can in trying to mount a championship campaign, but MX going to be extending his lead at the top. Slippy Jimmy P4 with AP in P5. A lot of P's going on there with LB P6. Imadust in P7. Rick P8. He's going to be losing a lot of points in the championship, but still a long way to go. Tier in P9 with Aces rounding off the top 10. Ted was the last to finish with Ghost, Vardy, Speed, Motti Pellets, RAP and Rumax all unable to reach the checkered flag, whether that's their own fault or a game glitch perhaps. Either way, they didn't make it to the end and they're going to be losing a lot of points in the championship. Nonetheless, guys, that was round number 3 at Silverstone and it never fails to deliver. Thank you so much for watching. I enjoyed that. I hope you did as well. I'll see you on Sunday for the Sprint Championship and then again next week for round number 4 where we continue this incredible title fight. Will MX come out on top for his second Tier 1 championship? Will Rick reign victorious and win his first championship in APPF1? Or will it be someone else? We don't know until this season's end. Until then, guys, I've been Zach Sweeney and this has been APPF1 and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.